Do you get bored after reading just a couple of paragraphs from a text? Do you step into your room just to forget why you're there? And do you constantly have this craving to jump off from a mentally demanding task to open up your YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram? If your answer to one of the above is yes, you are probably suffering from a shattered focus. Before we start, if you like this kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Think of your brain as a power grid with streets, roads, and highways. Each time you think, feel, or act, a combination of those pathways are lightened up. Some of those pathways are more traveled. Those are our behavioral habits, such as smoking or exercising, or mental habits, such as being constantly anxious about the future, or being optimistic and seeing everything through a rosy lens. Yes, these are habits too, and can be changed. Each time you think a thought, feel an emotion, or act on a specific task, you are strengthening their pathways in your brain. Repeated enough, those pathways become so strong that the corresponding thought, emotion, or action becomes automatic. Let's say you've had enough of constantly suffering the terrors of a vague future and the anxiety that comes with it, and you want to change that. Given that the antidote to anxiety is keeping your focus on the now, you must strive to master your mind and keep it in the present. When you are trying to do so, you are building new neural pathways around that old, dreadful pathway of constant anxiety. Initially, creating this new pathway requires substantial effort and attention. The same way that driving on an unpaved road is more laborious than on a highway, practicing this new habit would be more difficult than simply giving in to the old habit. But each time you practice the new way of thinking, you are making its pathway stronger and smoother. Meanwhile, the underlying pathway of the undesired habit is gradually beginning to decay. This process of rewiring your brain is called neuroplasticity. In other words, our brain is plastic, and we can potentially modify its structure. It is crucial to note the word we use is plastic and not elastic. This means that forming new pathways is arduous. Once they're formed with depth, they can lock you in specific behaviors or thought patterns, and once we wire a new neural circuit, pathway, into our brain, we long to keep it active. Nicholas G. Carr. Given the concept of neuroplasticity and its power, let's see how impulsive usage of the internet is rewiring our brain and breaking down our focus. How the internet is destroying your focus. The internet seizes our attention only to tear it into pieces. Nicholas G. Carr. Before the proliferation of the media, internet, and now the social networks, the primary medium for absorbing information was reading. Reading books, for instance, requires a practice of thought, one that demands sustained, unbroken attention to a single static object. It requires you to place yourself at what T.S. Eliot in Four Quartets would call the still point of the turning world. Now look at the practice of reading books from the lens of neuroplasticity. When trying to retain our focus, we are keeping the neural circuits, pathways of focus, active, hence making them stronger. Unfortunately, this habit of reading took several massive hits with the shifts in the technology of information medium. Initially, the emergence of radio, TV, and now the internet and social media. Now, bring into your mind the type of content you consume on the prevalent social media networks that is Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, etc. How much time do you spend on every single content on those networks before you move on to the next? How much effort and focus do they demand? And how often do you get engaged with these networks throughout a day? For me, this realization was horrifying. We are constantly jumping from one small fragment of content to the other. 1-minute video on Instagram, followed by less than 10 seconds of view of other posts. Jumping to Facebook to scroll through the feed and consuming nugget-sized content. Take a step back and look at the big picture of the way you use the internet. Do you see what's happening? 1 minute here, 2 minutes there, jumping and jumping from task to task. Content to content, and each jump endures in matters of minutes, if not seconds. This multitasking is an inherent product that comes with using the internet and has become a habit that drains and destroys our focus. This is how our attention span is breaking down. We are rewiring our focus circuits and creating attention spans of trivial length and power. This is the part where I've seen people and friends smile as they resonate with the examples of a broken focus. You start to read a book or a lengthy article. After reading a paragraph or so, you feel a sense of restlessness, or you feel bored and you crave to jump to another tab on your browser, or move on to the next content in your feed, or simply jump off to your phone and scour your Instagram. The more you multitask, the less deliberative you become, the less able to think and reason out a problem. You become more likely to rely on conventional ideas and solutions rather than challenging them with original lines of thought. Don Tapscott. Thanks to neuroplasticity, though, rebuilding your focus is feasible. So, how to rebuild your focus? Here are 3 effective solutions. 1. Strengthen your focus the natural way. Perhaps you have been to a gym or at least seen the scene where people pull up weights. When you repeat lifting up a weight, which is heavy for you, you will feel a slight pain in your muscles. You feel the pain or burning of the muscle because your cells are literally breaking down. After that, when you rest, your body notices the broken down cells. This tells your body that there are higher demands from it. What happens next is your body, in addition to rebuilding those cells, builds an extra layer of cells atop them as well, and provides you with more muscle power. This is why bodies grow in size after a period of working out. This process is analogous to rebuilding focus. The practical point is this: blueprint. Next time that you start to read a book or text and the boredom monster creeps in, do not give in to it. Instead, try to at least keep on reading for a couple of minutes more. These extra couple of minutes are precisely where you are stretching your focus and making it stronger. After several trials, what you will notice during the next attempts on reading is that you won't get bored as quickly as before. This means that your attention span has grown slightly and can keep out the boredom monster a bit longer. This is the natural way of rebuilding focus, like the way a swimmer builds his/her body without having to attend the gym. There is, however, a more direct way of strengthening focus, which resembles going to the gym directly and pulling up weights. 2. Prefrontal workout for improving focus. Prefrontal workout is a fancy name for meditation. One of the areas in the brain that meditation drastically affects is the prefrontal cortex, PFC, of the brain, which is the seat of all the human feats, that is imagination and creativity, willpower, decision-making, problem-solving, and, of course, focus. Brain scans of people who have meditated for just 11 weeks show significant growth in the gray matter of their PFC, which translates to having more focus capacity. Blueprint. To meditate, designate a specific time and place for it. Sit comfortably with a straight spine and your feet on the ground, close your eyes, and start breathing. There are 2 major points here. First, you have to focus on your breath. You can focus on the sensation of inhaling or exhaling in your nostrils, or you can focus on your chest or belly when your breath moves them. Second, as soon as your mind wanders and you notice it, take your focus back to your breath. 3. Be protective. Your focus in the first place. Now that you know how your daily, seemingly benign behavior can turn into a mental habit, you can approach things more mindfully. Always ask yourself, how is this approach, behavior, attitude of mine going to change me over the time? Do you use GPS like me? Do you outsource your memory to digital devices as well? On the surface, such behaviors might seem harmless, but collectively and in the long run, how are they going to reshape us? I would like to end this video with a quote from the Roman poet Horace: "Rule your mind, or it will rule you." In summary, we are what we repeatedly do. Our repeated actions and thoughts become imprinted in our brain in the form of neural circuits. After they are formed, we long to keep them active, and they operate on their own without asking our repetition. Neuroplasticity enables us to make new neural pathways in our brain and bypass the old habits. Constant exposure to social media and consuming nugget-sized content repeatedly is fragmenting our focus and attention span. With a shattered focus, we cannot concentrate on any subject for a long span of time, and we get bored quickly. Continuing a couple of minutes more when feeling bored is like pulling up weights for our focus and makes it stronger over time. Workout is a perfect habit to directly improve concentration and focus. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more mind-blowing videos.